Hello viewer, if you clicked on this video you probably want to learn how to play in Counter-Strike 2 with the AWP, so let's start with the video. First things first, what exactly is an aggressive AWPER? You can look at AWPERs and characterize them under two groups, passive and aggressive ones. A very good example of a passive one is Jame from Virtus.pro, while you look simple from Navi as a more aggressive example. An aggressive AWPER essentially looks out for picks and kills actively, while a more passive one waits for the players to come into their crosshairs while holding spots more passively. Although it's a matter of opinion, one can say that playing more aggressively can be more fun than passively. In this video we're gonna talk about aggressive play style. Aggressive play style is about forcing your way around the map. Aggressive AWPERs are found on both CT and T side, but it's the CT side where they can have the most impacts in the rounds because aggressive is less expected from the defensive team. An aggressive AWPER. How to be an aggressive AWPER? You'll be the one looking out for frags, getting positions early in the round, winning banana as a CT player on Inferno, for example, and even taking some risky peeks mid-round. There's one thing I have to say, that it's of the utmost importance. Being an aggressive AWPER is not the same as playing dumb and alone. If you're playing aggressively, you'll need your teammates' support even more. Having them flash for you or even smoke out positions to allow you to flee is super important, so make sure to keep an active communication. Make sure you know the timings of each map, how much time it takes for both teams to reach a certain place after the round starts, as that will make you think about what peaks are the best to start the round. Also, remember that different spawns make a big difference when going for these fast initial peaks.
When should you buy AWP?
The time when you can afford to buy an AWP depends on the start of the game, for example on the pistol rounds. Under the most favorable circumstances, you will be able to purchase a sniper device already in the second round of the match. But you should know that this is a mistake. In most cases, players buy AWP in the third or fifth round. Try to get as many frags as possible with SMGs during anti-eco rounds, as they have the highest kill bonus of all weapons. That will allow you to save money faster for AWP. You can also ask your teammate to drop an AWP for you. You should not buy an AWP without armor and grenades. Any HE grenade and a few bullets, and an expensive device is already in the opponent's hands. You should also avoid buying more than 2 AWPs for the attack, as this is a huge risk for the command economy. On the defensive side, a setup with 2 AWPs is common practice, but the risk of losing the economy still remains. Ask for your teammates for help. Let's imagine a certain scenario. You're playing CT on Inferno and want to make a fast push on apartments to peek second mid. You can just run boiler and then peek through the balcony. The thing is, that's a relatively common play, which means that the opposing team might be expecting that. But there's one simple trick to solve this: having your teammate flashing for you. Time the throw with him and have him throw the flashbang above apartments so that it blinds the entire second middle, making a safe peek for you. Generally, the best time to throw the flash is when you're entering boiler, as reaching the window is the time it takes for the flashbang to reach the second middle and blow. Naturally, this is just an example of countless others that can and should be used. Never underestimate the power of utility, especially when the opposing team understands that they're dealing with a player that likes to play in the front lines with an AWP. Aiming is important. Being an aggressive AWPER generally means that you'll find yourself in many situations where either you kill or get killed. You won't have much time to miss a bullet and survive to try and take a second shot. With that in mind, it's important to have a sharp aim when entering a match. Take your time to deathmatch and play other aim maps, as they will undoubtedly help you on your way to becoming a great sniper at Counter-Strike 2. Remember that this game rewards repetition and routines, which means that the more you play, the better you will eventually get. It's all about the hours you put into the game. At the same time, not all of those hours should be focused on getting your aim better. No escoping. Sometimes enemies forget even the most basic of manners and boorishly invade your personal space by running up to you. AWP in hand, you'd rather not have to scope and zoom in on the ugly details of their face. Instead, you might want to fire a shot without scoping at all, also called a no-scope in Counter-Strike. While a lot of people assume you have to get lucky to land a no-scope, depending on the distance it is actually a skill you can acquire. As has been proven by many professional AWP users, to understand the way no-scope spread works, you must imagine a cone that starts at the player's head and moves in the direction of your crosshair. All of your bullets will land on random spots inside this cone. Naturally, the spread of the AWP increases in size as you stand farther away from your target. Having a pistol is important. It is quickly forgotten that you are still carrying a sidearm. Remember this when you find yourself in situations where your AWP is just not the tool for the job. Think of moments like close quarters fights where missing the first shot means you potentially losing your life. Sure, you can try that sick no-scope, but it is a gamble at best. Your pistol can be a very strong sidearm for up close, so do not forget to invest in it either. Nowadays the P250 or Tech 9 are some of the favorites, but if you really like your high rate of fire, the 5.7 might just be your pistol of choice. Learn how to peek with the AWP. As an AWPer, one of the things that you have to learn is how to peek. This is extremely important because the enemy AWPer will kill you in seconds if you don't do that. There is no right and wrong in peeking as an AWPer because it depends on the map, your spot, and all sorts of other minor details. In some cases you need to jump, but there are many situations where you can crouch or just peek without doing anything. Be unpredictable. By extension of what we just discussed, you must also make sure not to become too predictable. While one angle might work very well in certain situations, if you have taken up that same exact angle in the past couple of rounds, it might actually work against you as your enemies will pre-fire that spot or use their utility to flush you out. There are always many different possible approaches to defend or attack a site, and it might be a good thing to switch things up. If you played a very defensive position for a couple of rounds, go and play a more aggressive position in the next one. If you have peeked mid every time, go somewhere else and possibly get a pick on an unaware enemy. Be unpredictable and, especially on the defensive side, switch up the positions from which you hold the push. For example, on the long position on Inferno you can play right behind the pillar to watch mid. In the little corner in the back watching short, arch, close to site and library. Simply by switching up all of these positions you will already prevent enemies from blowing your brains out even before you have registered their presence. Moreover, a more defensive position might be justified if you expect the enemies to be on an eco or force buy. Another sneaky way of being unpredictable can be exploited when you're crouching behind a box. Usually, you will fire a shot, duck behind cover to pull back the bolt, and reappear when you're good to go. However, instead of immediately standing up once the AWP is ready to get fired again, wait a little longer and move slightly to the left or right. Then, stand up, try to get a kill, and immediately crouch down again. You can do this a couple times provided you don't get overrun. This makes it very hard for the enemy to predict when and where you will appear, which lowers the chances of taking a bullet to the head before you can pull the trigger. Conclusion: the AWP is a fantastic, powerful weapon that can be the deciding factor for many rounds. However, much like Thor's hammer, it is only effective when wielded by the right person. The AWP's full potential can only be realized by a person that possesses all of the following traits: accuracy, map awareness, utility knowledge, and game sense. If you watched this video till the end, make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope you get better with my AWP tutorial, and I hope you get a great day. Bye.